Okay, this is going to be a little instructional video on the operation of the MOT 2019 high current test set. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to boot it up without the internet. Okay, you can see it will take longer to do that. I just want to give you an idea of how long that takes so you don't think it's broken or something when it takes a while. The screen is flashed, so it's got partway through the boot up procedure, and now it's completely booted up. So you have an idea of the boot timing. Okay, I'm booting the unit up to the main menu. I'm going to try to zoom in here in some organized fashion. You see it is connected to the internet. It has the locally assigned IP address and port, and the MAC address, and all that stuff appears in the faded information on the bottom of the screen there in the left lower corner. Okay, this is a little demonstration of the operation of the MOT 2019 high current test set. First thing I'm going to do is demonstrate a minimum pickup. So I'm going to go to the 2000 amp range here. You would turn the output on. When the output goes on, the on prints in red and the word amps prints in red. So what I'm going to do is say I expect the pickup to be at 400 amps, and I have a indicator on the device. So I would run it up slowly, somewhere around 400 amps, and I would observe where the pickup takes place, and write that number down, or press the FTP key. There's an FTP menu. I can press that, and I can send as overcurrent pickup. And then it will appear in the history on the website. It's now posted that data. Okay, the next thing I would want to do is a time test of a time overcurrent element. I'm going to attempt to do that with the trip here. So what I would do is I would press on again, and we'll say that I want to do that at 600 amps. Okay, I set this to 600 amps and turn it off. Press initiate. The timer's running. I took the clamp off. It broke the circuit, and the time was 5.83 seconds. So I can now write that down as the time overcurrent test, or I can use the FTP key. Right now, I can send that to the server. Send as 300% time test. Okay, it's sent that to the servers. That appears in the history of test results. Okay, the next thing, I have a contact hooked up to the timer stop. And what I can do is anytime the contact changes state, it will stop the timer. If the state of the contact changes from what it was when you initiated, it will stop the timer. So what I'm going to do is I have a normally closed contact, and I'm going to assume this was a ground fault or something that would open a contact. I'll press initiate. The timer is running. It says initiate on there. And I'm going to go ahead. I release the button, opening the contact. The timer stopped, and I can now, once again, either write that down or FTP to the server. And that is overcurrent testing. There's a couple of more modes on here. Let me crank this up a little bit. Let's say I want to do instantaneous test. There's two pulses. There's a short pulse, a 12-cycle pulse, and a longer pulse, which will allow you to test a timed short time element. Okay, I can hit pulse 1. You know, as it came on, there was a time, but it says no trip. If it had tripped during that time, it would say trip, and then that time would be meaningful in terms of the time it took to trip. So in other words, I can keep I hold my finger on the pulse, and you see the amps are pulsing up there. The peak was 1009.82 amps. So that's how I would do a pulse test to find the point where the instantaneous element tripped. Thank you for watching this segment. And this is just a little video overview of the case, how the front panel looks, how I have the short circuit set up there on the 2000 amp output. And I'll just add that to the overcurrent section of this video.